Change your life day by day. Last semester, I was struggling with focusing, sleeping, working out, even eating. And I'm a big man, so when I'm struggling with food is a big deal. And I'd have to say, I'd suffered through all of those just because I didn't have a reference point to begin with. And there were no time barriers I had set beforehand. The best way to screw yourself over is by having no limits. No. Here's a perfect example of this. One day you could say, yo, I'm gonna sleep at 10. Then you see your phone and you're like, okay, I'll have 10 minutes of phone time. Then slowly, maybe over the couple next days, you've upped that 10 minutes to 12 minutes. And you probably see where I'm going with this. It's slowly going to increment, and that 10 minutes could turn into double that time or triple that time. And the worst part of it is you wouldn't be self-conscious of it at all. And that happened to me this past semester. I came back home after 3 weeks, right? And my brother showed me the first episode of Prison Break. Spoiler alert. This man pulls down his shirt and says, I got the whole map on my back. And front. Like he got the whole prison blueprint outline on his whole body. And at first, I wouldn't even watch one episode a day. I'd watch maybe like half an episode, maybe half of that half an episode that for that day. Oh, and all of this would be sped up / skipped most of the time. I'd be done with my daily watch time, and I'd feel like watching more. I'd feel like wanting more of that show. But that habit over a certain time period did fade away initially, because the show did eventually get boring. But sometimes these moments like that will really push you in the opposite direction of success. Or another time, sometimes I'd procrastinate on a certain topic. Like, oh, I'll learn that later. Or if I'm going to learn it, I'll be like, yo, let me screen max a little bit, and then I'll go into it. But after I screen max, Lord and behold, I just push it off to the next day because I'm tired. That over a period of time push what I could have learned in maybe a day to over a week. And that semester really tripped me up. When it could have been equals amount of work every single day, I push it off to the end, leading basically to break, and then out of nowhere, I'm just working. Like, in binary context, 0 to 1. I would just work, study every time. Take it from me, it's not that fun. And the last example I want to definitely touch on is how food can impact how you think, how you act. Most importantly, it can affect your mood. Despite how big, sexy I look, I was not eating healthy. Matter of fact, I was eating at terrible times. And I lost, like, over that span, I lost a lot of food. I lowered my daily food intake to once a day. I wasn't even eating, not a lot, right? I was like eating maybe the minimum, maybe even less than minimum of food. And that energy, because of that lack amount of food, had me dead. I couldn't even focus because of that. At the time, I was saying it kind of bites itself in the back, because if you're studying, you can't eat. But when you eat, you're not studying, right? So it's like, it's kind of counterintuitive. Like, how are you eating and focusing at the same time? But they both definitely work to support each other. But after planning when to eat, I was more energetic, to say the least. But after adding a routine, the issues really toned down. And to start this semester successfully, or start this semester strong, I'm having a day-to-day calendar now, and I'll be improving it. Like, I'll be improving / changing it, and trying to get multiple study sessions I could get within that 1 week, because future me would be blessed. And besides, there's that saying where if you want to complete a task in a month, you could definitely complete it in a month. But if you change your mindset to complete it within a day, you could definitely change it. You could definitely finish that in 1 day. Now, if you're starting your classes, right? If you're in a situation like me, you're starting your classes, you maybe didn't do so well last semester. Here's the basis of how my calendar really is. Like, I'll try describing the theory. It's like, I'm not trying to fill in every block, because that's kind of impossible. And / there's also commute, right? That some days it will change, right? Like, the amount of time changes. What I'm gonna do, what I'll try doing is before class, I'll review what's going to be in that upcoming class, and after that class, I'll review what I learned in that class and just practice it. Because hypothetically, in 15 weeks, you maybe, or 16 weeks, you maybe have 30 to 32 classes. Like, you could definitely not have to last minute your classes if you divide them up into chunks. And besides, now I'll be adding the gym to the nighttime, and I'll be adding food an hour before that, and I'll be adding sleep an hour after the gym. So stay strong and have a good sleep.